so I'm just sitting here watching. Matter of fact, Kev was right next to me. Matter of fact, I'll even go a step further. I know y'all kind of see them two commenting back and forth with each other now.
Kevin and Lindsey.
If I could pinpoint any time period, I would say that is when that started in LA. Because I put it this way, that's my dog, so I don't really play hate on nobody. But I put it this way, had I not been there to be in the way, some shit probably would have went down.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I was going to do a recap video tonight, but I was watching Daonte's live earlier, and I felt like he said some interesting things. He was talking about what I talked about in my last video, which I think is the instance that Blaine is referring to when he said she was running off with a married man. I think he was referring to when Lindsey was making out with a married man during the trip that the cast all took to LA while she was with Blaine during her and Daonte's season, and she made out with this married man at the bar. Well, Daonte went live on his Instagram in response, and I was going to pull up the actual live on my laptop, but for some reason when I pull it up on my laptop, I can't skip forward on his live, so I'm just going to pull it up on my phone. We are going to skip around a little bit because I feel like there's some tidbits that are worth talking about. So let's go ahead and get into it.
My Instagram has been flooded. People want my opinion. And the people that know of this video that I'm talking about and know I got something to do with it, they want me to come out and say something.
We'll pull up the video right here.
So, it's time now. It done been put out there, and it's time. Out there now, I've seen it in the Facebook Savage groups now and everything. And according to Amber, posted it on her Instagram page of Liz making out with this drunk married dude. Okay? That video, I am the cameraman behind that video. Okay? I am the one that recorded that video of her kissing that guy. About a week before I flew to Los Angeles is when Lindsey hit me up out the blue. Text me, said, hey. And I was shocked to hear from her, but I said, hey, what you doing? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? She's like, you excited to go to LA? Now, at this time, I wasn't expecting her to be there. Because remember, Liz was on probation, so I didn't think she was going to be allowed to go to LA. But lo and behold, she was allowed.
And side note, I haven't noticed them do any photo shoot trips since they did this last trip. Maybe there's so much drama from this trip. They're like, okay, we need to cut this out. But Daonte revealed that they flew all the cast from that season down. So like Taylor and Chance, Sarah and Sean, Daonte and Lindsey. But he said they had each couple staying in a different hotel. So Daonte and Lindsey were in one hotel. Sarah and Sean were in one hotel. And I think they did that because they don't really like when the cast get together and speak a lot. You know, that's why they said in the past that they're not really supposed to hang out with each other. And I heard some of the cast think because it makes the show look fake if they hang out. But I think a lot of it is they don't want the cast to get together and talk about stuff like pay and how much of it's real.
So anyways, when we got to Los Angeles, I landed about 30 minutes before Lindsey did. And Blaine wasn't there either. He couldn't afford it. So it was just me and Lindsey and the other cast there.
Okay, so I guess they paid for everybody else, but Blaine didn't go because he didn't have money. He said Cece was going to go, but I guess, I don't know, maybe Cece couldn't afford it.
I knew she was going to be there, and I waited for her. And when she got off her plane, she seen me, and I looked and I smiled at her, and she ran to me and hugged on me, and we embraced each other real tight. We missed each other. I'll admit that. She might not, but I will, you know. And so that first night in Los Angeles, we rode together to the hotel that we were staying at. Because we were staying in the same hotel, but different rooms. Because they didn't think that we was going to be able to interact with each other. So they had us in separate rooms. But that was a good thing because we was both in relationships.
That's probably the real reason.
Hotel, we check in, and I'll admit something else. We we exchanged keys. I had the key to her room. She had the key to mine. That was done simply for emergency purposes.
Okay.
It wasn't for no sneaky link. I didn't go up there in the middle of the night and try to mess around with her. It was just so... Okay,
Daonte, you know you're wrong for that. If you have a girlfriend, Lindsey should not have your room key. No. That was...
She wanted to go out, so we went out to this bar together. It's a picture floating around out there of me and her sitting at the bar together. We both had on red. We was matching. And we just caught up and enjoyed each other. I saw her, you know, she was dancing with other girls. She danced with me a little bit. And I just sat there and had a drink and watched her dance. Now, all the while, I'm arguing with Cece, my girl, because my location is on around this time. So Cece can see where I'm at. She sees I'm at some bar. She already in her feelings because I'm out here. She knows Lindsey's there. So
but the thing is, we also have to remember, too, because Daonte has to take a little bit of responsibility. Because not only was he out in California with Lindsey while Lindsey was dating Blaine and Daonte was dating Cece. Okay, you guys got to go out there for work. That's understandable. But the whole exchanging room keys, they didn't need to do all that. And another reason Cece was tripping is because they weren't supposed to be hanging out with each other outside this photo shoot. But then Lindsey and Daonte go to this beach together.
So I had the key to Lindsey's room. So I got up the next morning. I ordered some IHOP off of DoorDash because Lindsey also wasn't there with a whole lot of money. So basically, I took care of her while we were there. I made sure she ate and everything. I paid for the Ubers we got in, you know.
She wanted to do it the other way around.
I made sure she ate. And then we linked up. We was on the phone with some of the other cast. And we went to a hotel where some of the other cast members was at. That's when this incident happened. So when we got there, we met up with some of the other cast. You know, Kevin was there. I'm hanging out with Kevin and some of the female cast members are there that I'm not going to name drop. We out here at this bar chilling, shooting, whatever. All the while, I'm arguing with Cece still because she's just accusing me of everything. And this was the day that me and Lindsey posted our pictures together as if we were still together.
I mean, I'd be mad too. I'd be mad too.
And as soon as I did that, I started getting text messages from Cece. You know, fussing with me.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and I have a perfect gift recommendation for you, and that is Rose Forever. Stop buying roses that only last for like a week, and then you have to throw them away. With Rose Forever, you can get these roses that are made with special oils that make them last over a year plus. So this is a new bouquet they just came out with that has 2 different colors of roses. This is not the only new item Rose Forever has. They also have these candles. So these candles are huge. You can see these candles almost as big as my head, as a beautiful design. And if you're interested, you can use my discount code AMBER30, and I'll leave it all right here, and you can get $30 off your bouquet. Not only that, you can also use the code INFLUENCER, all lowercase letters, and you can get free shipping on top of the $30 off. This is what I got last time, and these are from about 6 months ago, and they still look good as new. You can't go wrong with Rose Forever, so if you're interested in any of those items, then check all the information out in the description. And now back to the video. Let me just take a pause. The problem with Daonte is he jumped in a relationship way too soon with Cece without giving him time to fully get over Lindsey. So he jumped in this relationship, and the whole time, you can't tell me he did not still have feelings for Lindsey at that time when he was looking out for her while they're in LA. We saw how upset Lindsey got in the last episode when Blaine was venting to other people about her, and she's venting to Daonte about Blaine while she was with Blaine, and Daonte was with Cece. She says Blaine leaves the house while I watch and do lives. He's so sensitive. And Daonte's like, I'm not gonna lie, we have the same problem. Cece's the same way. She's like, good luck. Sounds like you'll need it. But let me know if she's there when you watch so we can chat during it. And this is during their season. He's like, definitely, you know, I'm gonna let you know when I'm It definitely sounds like Daonte wasn't the only one who may have possibly had feelings at this time, because Lindsey's asking him, do you like my new profile pics? Sorry, didn't mean to wake you. Go back to sleep. XOXO, you know, which means hugs and kisses. And she's sitting there saying Blaine's in a whole mood, geez. And he says, about what? Because you were on my live? Because this is when Daonte and Lindsey used to go live together. Then apparently Lindsey was getting upset with Daonte because she felt like he was sleeping with other people outside of Cece, even though he was with Cece at the time. They're no longer together. And he says, I can't believe you really think I'm out here just hooking up with mother effers like that. I ain't had sex with nobody but Cece since you. She said, got my feelings, I blame my vagina. In July, back in 2022, this is a few months after that trip to LA when Lindsey was making out with that married man, she texts Daonte and said, sorry, me and Blaine had a hella fight, and she sends her pictures of stuff packed up, and she says all my ish is packed, and she says she's trapped. I feel like he still had a special place in his heart for Lindsey. If Lindsey would have probably told him at that time, you know what, me and Blaine are done, who knows? I feel like he probably gave Lindsey another chance. But just the fact that you're putting your relationship at risk by doing all these things for Lindsey is concerning.
I started getting text messages from CC, you know, fussing with me. So, and Kev is with me the whole time. He's like, you good, man? You good, homeboy? I was like, man, I'm stressing out right now, whatever. Now, around this time, there's this married-ass drunk dude at the bar, outside bar, talking about how much money he's got. According to Amber, was that Kevin standing next to her in the video while she was making out? Yeah, that was him.
And even Kevin commented on my video, because I posted the video on my Instagram. He said, who's that standing next to her? I'm like, I wonder who. And I'm just messing with him. It's Kevin, and Kevin's just standing next to her while she's making out with this guy. Like Nothing's going on. But that just goes to show, I feel like that she does not care about Blaine, because she has no shame making out with this dude. I don't care how drunk you are, making out with this random married dude at the bar in front of all your cast members. That to me just tells me you don't give a flying F about Blaine.
There's this married drunk dude at the bar talking about how much money he got. And when you talk about that to somebody like Liz, it's going to entice her. I'm just going to put it that way. Apparently his wife was out there somewhere, but he kept making out with this British girl. It was like a blonde-haired British girl out there that he kept making out with. But then he took a liking to Lynn. And so I'm just sitting here watching. Matter of fact,
okay, let me see where we at. So pretty much the dude made out with the British girl and then made out with Lindsey afterwards. So she got the sloppy seconds, or maybe even the sloppy thirds, because Daonte said the wife was out there too. So he's probably making out with the wife. Then when she ran off, making out with the British girl, then turns around and makes out with Lindsey. Like, oh my God. No shame. I got so mad when I said I feel like Lindsey wants a rich guy. But here's Daonte saying out of his own mouth that this dude pretty much told Lindsey how much money he has, and then it got her panties all wet, and, you know, next thing you know, she's making out with the dude.
But then he took a liking to Lynn. And so I'm just sitting here watching. Matter of fact, Kev was right next to me. Matter of fact, I'll even go a step further. I know y'all kind of see them two commenting back and forth with each other now.
Kevin and Lindsey.
If I could pinpoint any time period, I would say that is when that started in LA. Because I put it this way, that's my dog, so I don't really play hate on nobody. But I put it this way, had I not been there to be in the way, shit probably would have went down. That's all I'm gonna say.
So he's saying that Lindsey and Kevin had like this chemistry that started in LA, and he's been commenting under her Instagram posts with like fire emojis, and people have been calling him thirsty. But here's Daonte saying, if I wasn't there in the way, then he probably would have been the one hanging out with Lindsey. Shoot, he was standing right next to Lindsey while she was making out with the dude. If the drunk dude wasn't at the bar, then she probably would have been making out with Kevin. But honestly, that does not surprise me whatsoever, because she has a thing for cast members in the past. Like, she tried to get with John, Lacey's man, and she also got, there's another cast member who said Lindsey tried to get with him, but I can't remember which one it was.
Not at the same while I'm arguing with my actual girlfriend about, she thinks that I'm out here messing around with this girl. Not just in front of me, not just in front of Kev, but it's other cast members out there that's watching this, to the point where this man picks her up and she wraps her damn legs around him in her arms, and they making out with each other. Mm-hmm. That's when I said something. That's the point where I stepped in and I was like, all right, bro. And then he kind of looked like, he was like, oh, no hard feelings, man. No, I didn't know that was a girl. I said, no, I have to say my girl, but still, dog. Like, and then I pulled her to the side and doing. Like, what you doing right now? And I don't know, in her mind, he's buying me drinks, so why not? And I had to remind myself, okay, well, she ain't mine no more. Like, I'm sitting here arguing with my actual girlfriend about this. Why am I sitting up here trying to stop her from doing what she do? So I just let her do it. Whatever. Go ahead, do what you do. That's kind of the mindset I had. And I was getting so frustrated with Cece that I finally took my little phone for a few seconds while she was making out with this guy and just hit the record button, stopped it, and then sent it to Cece. And I said, do you see what she's doing?
I'm going to show you exactly what I'm at right now. Okay? You see her up there talking to other dudes, right? Okay. She done been kissing on other dudes and everything right in front of me. Obviously, I don't care about that. I'm here with the rest of the cast, hanging out, trying to ease my mind. You see? There go Kevin right there. I'm just chilling. It ain't nothing like that. It is for TV. If you don't get that by now, I don't know what to tell you.
She's obviously not paying me no mind, okay? So can you please stop accusing me? I'm not doing nothing. Like, that is why I did that. I never sent that. I never meant for that to be blasted on the internet. I sent that to Cece to prove my own innocence, basically. After that, I made a whole nother video speaking directly to Cece, and I was like, do you not understand? Don't you see she's out here talking to other dudes for TV? I said it was for TV because I was saying that our pictures are posted now because our season's coming out. I'm doing this for the season. I see you, love. I see you, Stephanie.
I know, but
Cece wasn't getting it.
But Daonte's gonna be mad at himself too, because, you know, switching hotel keys and getting her breakfast and going to the bar together, that's not doing it for the TV. So as I reported in my video yesterday, I asked Lindsey about this. Lindsey doesn't talk to me anymore, but I had a phone conversation with her, and I asked her straight up, I said, well, what's up with you making out with this guy? And she said, oh, you know, he tried to grab me and I was trying to push myself away. But it does not look like she's trying to push herself away in this video. And even Daonte said that is BS.
Fat phase on lie. I know what happened. I was right there, and so was a bunch of other cast members. And they might not say nothing, but I will. Now, I know I'm not proud of that time period that I had. I was being trifling. I listen. I said it before. I'll say it again. I was not the greatest boyfriend to Cece back then. I was trifling. I couldn't.
What I want to know is, does Cece know all this information, or is she just finding out as we are about what really happened that night? But I think the reason why she was tripping was for good reason, because a lot of her assumptions were true. Yes, Daonte alleges that they did not sleep together, but they're in the same hotel room together, because he says that Lindsey, after she left the bar, she was so drunk he had to take care of her all night. And that's just not his responsibility. He says he feels like Lindsey would have took care of him if the shoe was on the other foot. I don't think she would have. I feel like she would have probably left him stranded at the bar with him not knowing where the hell he was if it came down to it.
It was never your responsibility to check on her. That's what the cameraman were there for. There was no cameras there. It was just a photo shoot. Me and her were in the same hotel together, pretty much paired up together. She didn't know nobody else there but me, other than the cast. So me, just being me, felt like I had to be there to make sure she was all right. That's it.
Daonte's a caring person. I feel like he would have felt like something was his fault if something happened. Daonte has to learn how to establish better boundaries with his exes and people outside of his relationship when he's in a relationship. Lindsey should not have had his key. So I'm like, if Cece's tripping, then send her videos, send her pictures, make her feel like she's involved and part of the trip, and so she can get a play-by-play of what you're doing. And, you know, I was like, make sure when you're taking the videos, you know, you're looking around with the camera so she can see all around you, so you're not trying to cut things off like Lindsey was doing to Blaine. Lindsey was calling Blaine and saying, oh, hey, Daonte's nowhere around, while Daonte's literally sitting on the other side of the room. I'm glad he is able to be aware, though, and admit these things, because that's definitely growth.
Well, Liz, look, man, I didn't do that for it to go on the internet. My bad. But you should have left her alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cece won't play no games, and she put it right out there for the world to see, and she sent it to Blaine too. So evidently, because he acted like he was unbothered when she sent it to him, but evidently he held on to that for so long, and it finally came out.
Yep, that's why he's probably depressed. Cece messaged Blaine the video of Lindsey making out with a married man, saying that's everybody's BITCH. Then she said, now ask your B to stay off my dude's line talking about you. And I asked her if she want to fight. Not long after Cece messaged him the video and those messages, he ended up blocking her. Then he was on Rewatch Reality's Instagram page on a post about Cece and Daonte, and he commented and said, I love how she slid my DMs too. And she was trying to make it, he's kind of made it sound like she's like sliding in his DMs, trying to hit him up like she wants to be with him. But he's not sharing the full context that she was just sending him receipts of Lindsey making out with a married man. I also got this receipt, and this is a conversation with Lindsey and Daonte. So when Daonte was with Cece, Lindsey was telling Daonte, oh, if you're going to be with Cece, then I'm going to have nothing to do with your storyline. Because she's kind of wanting it to be a love triangle with her and Blaine, even though he had moved on with Cece. So at the end of Daonte's season, they were trying to actually get Cece and Daonte to film, but Cece refused to film, so they set him up on a date where they claim this is Jill, which is somebody that his mom knew, that his mom had set him up with. And Lindsey got so excited when she saw this Jill girl and said, oh, you know, this is who you need to bring for next season, even though he was with Cece at the time. Then when they aired the episode of Daonte going on that date with Jill, Lindsey messaged him and said, hey, do you think Jill would be okay with some social media beef with me when her episode airs? Daonte never responded to that question, but she's trying to set up random beef with this girl that she doesn't even know just for the clout. And then Lindsey says, I hate Reddit. And then Daonte sent me this receipt of a conversation he had with Cece. And this is a Love After Lockup Reddit screenshot of someone saying, of course he gets with another white girl, but this one likes to act and dress like she's black. And I can't decide if that's better or worse. And someone commented and said worse. So he said, remember I told you is somebody I seen on Reddit that sounded like Lindsey? Well, he's talking about that comment that said that about him and, well, talking about Cece. And he ended up asking Lindsey, and he claimed she ended up admitting that that was a burner Reddit account she had. So if you ever see a LAL fan 2022 talking smack on Reddit, that is allegedly Lindsey. And that sounds like a burner account because that's like the most generic username ever when it comes to a Love After Lockup fan.
That's what it was. Somebody said you like the drama at this point. I'm so tired of y'all saying that.
Okay, and so pretty much, I'm trying to think of what else he said. He also said that Lindsey got so drunk, she ended up puking outside of the Uber. They get in the Uber. They go back to the hotel. So Daonte said he was so concerned with Lindsey because she was so white girl wasted that he decided to go back to her hotel room and keep watch over her because he said he felt like she was so drunk she was going to vomit and choke on her own vomit. So he went to her hotel room, and she said before they got to the hotel room, Lindsey called up Blaine super drunk, and she's like, hey, Blaine, yeah, Daonte's taking care of me. And then she got out the phone, and I guess Daonte said he went up to the hotel with her, and Lindsey told him again, hey, will you text Blaine again and let him know that you're taking care of me? And Daonte was like, are you sure you want me to do that? But Daonte was petty at the time because he still, kind of feels some type of way for Blaine taking his girl. So he's like, yeah, I'll be petty. I'll tell him that I'm with you right now. And I feel like I said earlier, they broke up. Daonte probably would have gave Lindsey another chance at that point. So he told Blaine that, and he didn't say if Blaine ever texted him back or not. I would like to know that. Daonte, if you're watching this, let me know in the comments. Did Blaine text back when you told him you'd taken care of Lindsey? And what was his response? And I'm sure Lindsey ended up going back home when she was sober and telling Blaine, oh, no, that's not true. And, trying to act like, oh, maybe Daonte stole my phone and sent that, just starting stuff. But I feel like she was probably backtracking on what she said when she was sober, probably. But apparently he went to her room. She was so drunk. He said that they didn't even do anything. They didn't even sleep in the same bed. He didn't even sleep with her. But he said she ended up passing out. He watched over her all night. And he was so tired because he said, okay, wait a minute, though. He said they weren't in the same bed, but he said Lindsey took all the covers. So how can Lindsey take all the covers if they're not in the same bed? I thought, I don't know. What do you guys think? He said Lindsey took all the covers, so he had to grab her robe and wrap her robe around him, and he fell asleep. And I guess when Lindsey woke up, she's like, why are you in my robe? And she was kind of confused why he was there, but he said he was concerned for her, and she took all the covers. And after that, I don't think there was really much else he said, but I just thought there's a few tidbits of information that was worth talking about in this video, especially him saying that her and Kevin kind of had some sexual chemistry, and it would have definitely probably been him if it wasn't that other guy that night, or Daonte wasn't there to stop it. Oh man, that is some tea right there. And someone was saying that if her and Blaine weren't together, that there's another cast member opportunity, and I wonder if that's who they were hinting around at. I don't know. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about all that tea in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.